talking about my favorite show, The 100. This would be Season 3, Episode 14, entitled Red Sun at Morning. So, as I said in my intro, The 100 is my favorite show out there right now, and it's because of episodes like this that The 100 is my favorite show. I mean, I was watching tonight's episode and I was like, I mean, not only was it intriguing, it was exciting, and it messed with your expectations. I did not see all of the twists coming. I didn't see any of the twists on tonight's episode coming. Yeah, so let's get into it. Let's talk about the three main storylines that were running. What was going on in Polis, what was going on in Arcadia, and what was going on in Lunaville, whatever they're calling that, the oil rig. Seeing how the first two were kind of intertwined with one another, we're going to start with what was happening in Lunaville. So in the last episode, Clark and the gang were trying to convince Luna to take the flame, become the next commander. Luna didn't want anything to do with that. Now in this episode, we got Clark still trying to convince her, and she tells Luna, hey, there's some shit going on down in the mainland. We need your help. And Luna's like, oh, that'll never reach here. I kind of saw this this was reminding me of that scene in The Happening when they meet the crazy lady in the woods and they're trying to explain to her all the shit that's going down. And she says, I don't care about the rest of the world. Those problems don't affect us here. And I was like, no, they're going to affect you. You might want to listen to this guy, but of course they don't have that conversation about what's going on in the mainland. Going to save some grief, as she explained it to him. Anyway, we learn a little bit about Lunaville people. They're kind of like the Iron Men from Game of Thrones. They live on the sea. They worship the sea. They take in orphans from the mainland. Okay, that's not, Iron Men from Game of Thrones, but that's their deal. They're pacifists and they're out on this oil rig and they just live off the sea. Their whole lives are about the sea. And we even have a character called Shay, which once again kind of reminded me of Game of Thrones, even though Shay wasn't a part of the Iron Men. And she's getting friendly with Jasper. Jasper's got a new love. And once again, Clark, she decides that, she's just going to stick the flame into Luna. And she tries that. She goes, Cernibus, I don't know, fancy Latin words, activate the flame. She tries to put on Luna. Well, that was a mistake, because Luna, she was a Nightblood. She's a badass, and she just flipped Clark right on her ass and said, hey, I didn't run from the Conclave because I was afraid to die. I was afraid to win. And of course, she learned that she had to kill her brother, and after that, she said, fuck this shit, and took off. So, Luna's kicking them out, and then her bodyguards, they betray her. Turns out that at some point they have taken the chip, and then they put Clark, Bellamy, and Octavia into this coned storage, lock them up, and they put the screws to Luna, trying to get her to take the chip, and they do a little waterboarding. Jasper heats all this, and him and Shay run into them, and Shay runs off because Jasper says, hey, run. She gets an arrow to the back. Forgot to mention that, but I was like, wow. Good going, Jasper. He just got his girlfriend killed. Another girlfriend from Jasper, gone. Anyway, the Luna character is not having it. She's not going to take the chip. She's like, these guys are fucking crazy. One of her advisors said, hey, stop torturing her. I'll take the chip. Then he takes the chip. Then he's part of the chip cult. Then he's trying to convince her. And eventually they just bring in a kid and say, hey, if you don't take the chip, we're going to kill the kid. And, you think, the advisor's taking the chip and he's trying to shove it into Luna's mouth. She takes a bite out of his hand and then throws a knife into the guy who is the knife to the kid, gets into a fight, starts taking people out, kills her advisor, starts bawling about that. Everyone comes in, they free Jasper, and they're like, no, now Luna's going to say, holy shit, the shit from the mainland has hit the oil rig. And, they have this ceremony to honor their dead. Everyone's drinking wine. And then Luna's, Clark's trying to give her the cell again. And Luna's like, how is this any different from blood? Blood must have blood, what you're planning here. And then Octavia goes to say something, and she falls down, and you realize, oh, Luna has drugged the wine. She is still not going to be a part of Clark's plan. And everyone wakes up on the little beacon area that they had signaled to get the boats to go to the beginning. And Bellamy's like, what are we going to do next? Which is how the episode ended and the storyline. Now, what happened... Let's go back to the other storylines. What happened to Polis? What happened in Arcadia? So, back in Arcadia, I really did love the Arcadia stuff because Monty finally got a storyline. Double storyline in one episode. Finally. I love Monty, and I don't think they use him enough, but this episode they sure did. You see him in Arcadia. He's hanging out with Raven. Raven's talking about the whole computer world. She's got it on her computers down at Arcadia. And she's talking about, I could probably hack into this, I can hack into this. And Monty's like, no, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Harper shows up. She's like, hey, Monty, you want to go help me with this airlock? I'm a Marper fan, so I'm like, is this going where I think it's going? Sure enough, Harper, says to Monty, hey, I already sealed the airlock. Why don't we go have some fun? And right out of the blue, the two go and they have some fun. Monty gets laid. He gets lucky. I'm like, yeah! And I was watching this, and part of me thought, I think Harper's just kind of playing Monty, so Raven can get into the thing that she wasn't supposed to get into with the computers. That wasn't the case. It just, Raven walks in on them. She's like, oh, well, finally. And then she says, oh, I found something. And then they go back, and she explains to Monty, if she opens up this one thing, she could probably shut Allie down. Now, we're going to go back to Polis. At the same time, the beginning of the episode, Murphy, Indra, Pike, they're all in their cell, and they're talking about how are we going to take down this chip cult. Indra's like, all we got to do is kill Jaha. Murphy's like, no, you can't do that, because he realizes he doesn't want to give away that, Allie, the AI, hologram thing. He knows that that's what's really controlling people. Killing Jaha is nothing. He's really just a drone, but he doesn't want to give away that secret for some reason. But I think it actually makes sense because you don't know if everyone's going to be in on the plan if he basically tells them everything. Because one of them takes the chip, then Allie knows what he knows. And he knew that the backpack that we'd seen Jaha and the big mutant guy that he was hanging around with, that somehow is connected to Allie. And if you destroy it, you destroy Allie. And then after Indra kills some guards and they make an escape, Indra puts a knife to their throat, and he explains all of this, and they decide they're going to go destroy the pack. Allie knows he's coming, so they go to the Titus's little dungeon. Pike kills some guards. They lock the place down, but Emery's there. The desert grounder who Murphy's got a thing going with. And she's like, no, Murphy, you can't do it. You break that thing, it's a nuke power. The whole city's going to go up. And then, Pike's like, I can figure this thing out. We don't have to do that. And, Allie and Jaha send more grounders to break into the dungeon. So they're trying to figure out how to shut Allie down with that. And then that intertwines with what's going on in Arcadia, where Reyes is trying to shut Allie down to the computer system there. So now we go back to Arcadia, where she's trying to do that. She's got Monty there with him, and they figure Monty's got to be helping her. So they have his mother give him a call. And he realizes, oh shit, she's still in the computer system. And Raven's like, well, we could delete her, but that would be that's the last bit of life his mother has. And I'm thinking, okay, now Monty's going to be like, no, knock Raven out. He goes, no, delete her. So they delete her. And then Raven's trying to break into the system, but Allie's like, oh, well, I could shut down their computers, but that would mean that I'm stuck on my mobile thingamajig. I'm not in for the science fiction part of the 100 now. So I don't know exactly how to say what they're saying. But basically, Allie could shut down those computers, but then she's going to be left with her mobile backpack thing, which Murphy and Pike and Indra are destroying, or so we thought. We'll get to that. So anyway, she shuts down Arcadia, And then Monty's pissed at Raven because, he had to erase his mother and was all for nothing. Back at the dungeon, they have a similar showdown where Emery's like, if you break that thing, all of us who are in there, our minds are going to be blank. And Murphy's like, oh, we can't destroy it. Or I can't destroy it. And Pike says, oh, well, okay, I get you. I got you, bro. He takes the thing and smashes it. But it's too late. Allie is downloaded to the Ark. She's up there in the sky. And that's how that all ended. And very... very intense scene. I mean, I knew there were 2 episodes left, so I didn't think they were going to be able to stop her. And I like how she said the mobile, whatchamacallit. So you think it's that backpack thing, but it turns out it's probably just the Ark, because the Ark is mobile. It's orbiting around the Earth. And so once again, they fool us there. And I didn't see... That was one of the things I liked about this episode, is how I said all the turns and twists. I didn't think that Monty would delete his mother. I thought he was going to betray Raven. I didn't see the takeover on the oil rig. I didn't realize that, Allie had gotten to those people. I didn't think that they would destroy the mobile thing when Emery's like, we'll all go blank, which I wonder if that's true or not. I'm thinking not. But in the end, Pike destroys it. And that's what I like that. It plays in your expectations. And when a show or a movie or a book can do that, that's wonderful. It keeps you guessing as to what's going to happen. And of course, like being the Monty fan that I am, I love how they gave him a double storyline. First, they have a happy one where he finally hooks up with Harper. And it's like, yeah, Monty got laid. And then, out of the blue, they bring back the mama drama, where it's like it's his mother again. I mean, it kind of repeated the same scene where he shot her. But now it's completely going to... No chance his mother's going to come back. She is out of the City of Light. She's gone. And it's like, holy shit. Yeah. Aside from that, the only thing I really didn't like was, like the Luna stuff. I made my prediction last week about how Lincoln met Luna. And even though this episode didn't, destroy that theory of mine, it didn't, it didn't destroy it, it didn't confirm it. Maybe there's a story there with how Luna met Lincoln, but they didn't get into it, and you really don't get into a lot of what Luna's deal is. I guess they're keeping that for more episodes, so I don't think we've seen the last of Luna. And of course, Luna once again rejecting the flame. It's like, what? What are they going to do now? I do have a few ideas. But all around, that's what I liked about this episode. That's what I liked about the 100. It kind of reminds me of 24 on the first few seasons where, when they blew up the CTU in season 2, or when they shot Terry Bauer at the end, it's like, wow. They're not afraid to go to these places, kill off characters you like, and really, endanger characters you like, too, because, when they blew up the CTU, the one new character got killed, but none of the ones you liked. And but still, the fact that they would blow up the CTU, it shocked me. That's what I'm looking for. It kind of shocks you because you think your characters are safe, and then they throw a hardball at you. Like, nope, no one's safe, except for Jack Bauer in the case of 24. I'm thinking Clark on this show. She's one like the Rick Grimes. She's the one you can't kill off, or basically you don't have a show anymore because you've followed her story from the beginning to the end, and that would be the end of the show. But I could be wrong. I mean, this is the 100. They're not afraid to kill people you like. They're a little G.R.R. Martin. So, on to predictions. Okay, so first things first. Basically, I think the next 2 episodes are, of course, going to be about trying to stop Ailey. And how they're going to do that is, okay, so there's going to be some battling going on. They're going to send some people to Polis to fight, to distract the Chip Cult. And then a few of them are going to Mount Weather, and they're going to use the missiles to destroy the Ark. I figure they're going to find out that Ellie 2, or 1, hologram Ellie, is in the Ark. So they're going to shoot that at the Ark. They're going to go back, they're going to find, oh, the missiles are still intact. Raven, Monty, they're going to concoct it to blow up the Ark. Another theme that we're going to see in the next 2 episodes is forgiveness, redemption. I think Jasper's going to forgive Clark for the death of his girlfriend from season 2 because he got his girlfriend in season 3 killed. I can't remember his girlfriend from season 2, the Mount Weather girl. Clark killed her, and then when he was on the oil rig, he starts meeting this girl called Shay, and I think he's going to blame himself for her death because he's kind of responsible. He's like, oh shit, problems. And she was like, I'm going to run. And she gets an arrow in the back. And he's going to realize that because he got her killed, he's kind of no better than Clark. And I think that because of that, he's going to forgive Clark for what she did. Indra and Pike, they're going to have to work together to fight people. I think Pike's going to sacrifice his life to save hers. And there'll kind of be some forgiveness, but not a lot there. Now, Octavia Bellamy. I don't know how they would pull that off. Maybe Octavia will not forgive Bellamy, but part of me thinks they'll have some resolution on that, how she hates him. Okay, so, that covers that. Let's get into some deaths. Well, I already mentioned Pike. I think Pike's going to die trying to save Indra. Ellie 2, I guess I covered that because they're going to shoot the missiles to blow up the Ark, and that'll be the end of her. A few other deaths, like Ontario. I don't know. Because you see the previews, Rowan's going to be helping with this. And I don't think he's going to go with the plan that will kill his sister. But then again, these aren't grounders we're talking about. And actually, I don't know if... No, she's not his sister. She was just some, black blood who his mother had latched onto. No, yeah, he'll totally kill her. Because, she gave... Ice Queen probably gave all this kid all of her love and he was jealous. So, yeah, Rowan will probably definitely kill Ontario. He'll totally be for it. So that leaves the question of who's the next commander is going to be. I don't know. There might not be an next commander, and that could play into season 4 with the factions are trying to figure out who's going to lead them. So let's talk the 100. People, the ones that I'd be worried about most would be Harper and Brian, because they're kind of reoccurring characters. Miller too would be another one to worry about. Miller, Brian, and Harper. I think they're kind of done killing, the big time characters. But I could see maybe Kane and Abby getting it this season because they're. At least one of them would die, and it's like, oh, the other one would be so heartbroken. So, Abby. I think Abby is more likely to die. Now, Jaha. Sad to say it, folks. He's probably going to survive. Yeah. He'll be like continued annoyance in season 4. I think, because we had the Flame, I think he's going to steal the Flame and go and search for another Black Blood. And that'll play into season 4. And I think that's it for predictions. I really don't know what to predict to make the predictions. That's what I love about the 100.